Amsterdam hill, talking in our beds for a week. The newspaper said, say what you're doing in bed. I said, we're only trying to get us some peace, Christ.
For love and peace. Een actie voor de wereldvrede, een van de meest legendarische van de hele jaren 60. Met Lennon dus als vredesapostel, wat hij nooit zo erg geweest was. Dus hoe zit dat? En geloofde hij er nou echt in?
Het paar is op huwelijksreis en bleek niet bereid het bed uit te komen om de pers te woord te staan. En daarom kwam de pers aan bed voor de opnamen van wat men wel een bedside story zou kunnen noemen.
Everywhere where we can spread the word, peace, you know.
And we felt that Amsterdam was a very important place to do it, because the thing is, it has a very fresh and alive interest, Amsterdam, for the...
and the provos and the white bicycles.
World peace, etc.
It's always the old to lead us to the war.
Voor hippies in de hele wereld was Amsterdam de stad waar alles kon. Witte fietsen. Provo. Marihuana. Ludieke acties. Protesten tegen de oorlog in Vietnam. Alles riep om vrede. En die kon de stad zelf ook wel gebruiken. Die Ros parkeerde hier en daar kwamen John en Yoko uit.
Ja.
En u had een speciale deal met...
Ja, ik had een deal, want ja, toen ik in de auto zat, zei ik, ja, bed in. Ja, we houden een persconferentie morgen. Ik zeg, ja, ik haat persconferenties. Daar zit iedereen, dat is voor mij niet interessant. Ik wil graag elke dag even bij hem langskomen, een uurtje. Hij wist inmiddels al dat ik Telegraaf de meest gelezen pagina van Nederland schreef. In die tijd was dat zo, en de eerste showbiz-pagina. En hij zei, is goed, Henk, kom elke dag maar langs. Ik zeg, maar dan geen andere mensen, hou ik niet van. Oké. Dus dat was de deal.
We thought about this for months. This is the best possible, most functional and effective way of promoting and protesting against violence that our minds combined could think of. Now, going to Biafra, I might just get blown out as soon as I land there, right? Now, I'm not that bloody stupid as to land in a situation. I'm not going to drop myself in Vietnam and say, peace, bam! Yeah. You know, what's the point? You know, there's just as much violence in Amsterdam and in this hotel in people's minds as there is in Biafra.
Uit de hele wereld werd dit nieuws. En hij zei ook, het kan me niet schelen of ze me belachelijk maken... of zeggen dat we idioot zijn of gekken. Maar die foto's plaatsen ze. En dat gaat over vrede. De foto's van ons tweeën, het woord vrede... dringt nu in de hele wereld de ellende even weg. En er staat vrede op de voorpagina's. Dat had hij goed bekeken.
2 teas, please. Yeah, 902. Oh, and some toast, yes. Brown toast. Good morning, yes. Yeah, I know, and some toast.
Het was allemaal ongepelde rijst, heel veel groenten. Maar ja, het eten, ik wilde met hem praten natuurlijk. Dus zij aten vooral. Zij kwam er ook uit bed na enige tijd. En ja, dat smaakte goed.
Ik ben zo benieuwd, hoe rook het hier?
Ik zal het, ja, het klinkt niet zo aardig, maar het was geen frisse lucht. Het was het tegenovergestelde, kan je zeggen. Het stonk zelfs een beetje. Ja, ik hoorde ook, het kamermeisje was dat verteld, dat ze bijna nooit een douche namen. Ze waren zo aan elkaar gehecht, kan je zeggen. Ze wilden... De badkamer is denk ik in die tijd niet echt gebruikt om je te verfrissen. En dat zag je ook aan John. Zijn haar was toch... Ja, had hij wel eens kunnen wassen, hoor.
John Lennon was niet schoon op zichzelf.
Nee, op zijn haar, maar ja, hij had alleen maar ogen voor haar.
Look at me. Who am I supposed to be? Who am I supposed to be?
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Did you enjoy our little...
Was that the marijuana?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, keep smoking. Let's open it up. There's nothing illegal in here. I thought, beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for that. Hey, that was a local paper and say...
Ja, Lennon heeft wel eens gezegd, hij zegt, zij is mijn meerdere. We zijn gelijk, maar toen herstelde hij, nee, zij is mijn meerdere. Het was haar idee. En het leek natuurlijk allemaal leuk om dat hier te zijn, maar het was een huwelijksreis. Maar het was ook een scheiding. Want zij had in die periode een bom gelegd onder de Beatles. Begrijp je? Dus ja, het was een huwelijksreis aan de ene kant mooi, aan de andere kant. Hij zei ook, ja, de Beatles, ja, een verstikkend keurslijf wordt het. Hij liet doorschemeren, ik ben het een beetje zat. Ze waren nog bezig met die plaat Abbey Road. Maar dat zou denk ik het laatste zijn. En zij is daar de aanstichter van.
You know, we've proved to them that 7 days and 7 nights in any room isn't luxury. With however much fruit and flowers you've got,
Yeah, right.
It is not luxury, it's heavy going. Especially as we see the press from 10 in the morning till 10 at night. I just, yeah, because we want to get it over, you know. Okay, great seeing
I'm
you.
gonna end this part.
Yeah, okay. Have a good time tonight.
Right. I hope so.
Okay.
Right, good to see you.
Yeah, bye-bye again.
Yeah, we'll be here till Tuesday, so.
Okay, well, I'll be here till
Good to see
Monday.
you again.
Okay,
Right,
we'll be
good.
here. Okay.
Okay, good.
Hello, dog. It's beautiful, though, isn't it?
We're not afraid for dogs, right?
No, it's just they take a lot of looking after. We'll think about you. Amsterdam.
Amazing.
He's a lovely dog, though.
Yes,
Okay. Are you going to take him off me now?
Yes, if you don't mind, because it's one of the asylum, so they have to have it back.
Oh,
Thank you
I
very
thought-
much.
I thought you were giving it. They just did a plug then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What was it that they were not going to give us?
I thought she gave it to you.
I was under that impression.
Yes.
That we were given a dog. You don't have to go to bed to do it. You can grow your hair as a permanent symbol. That's how I say it. You know, you can go. Everybody who wants peace looks like it.
Oké, en die klaar zijn graag
No, we don't know yet.
verlaten.
Is it an autograph? We're very busy, you know, and we can't see all the fans. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do the job we're here to do. So, Yvonne, is it?
Thank
Okay,
you very much.
it's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Okay.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.
Schrijver en journalist Ray Connolly heeft Lennon sinds begin van de jaren 60 tientallen keren ontmoet. In zijn vorig jaar verschenen biografie Being John Lennon spaart hij hem niet. Hij hoorde ooit van Lennon avant-garde, dat is Frans voor bullshit. En hij is overtuigd dat Lennon zelf niet in de bed-in geloofde.
I thought the peace bed-ins in Amsterdam, I thought it was silly. I thought it was vanity was taking over. I don't think it changed the world in one iota. I thought he just looked very, very silly. And I think that's him and Yoko sort of in love with the idea of John and Yoko. He subsumed his personality into that of Yoko. John and Yoko became an item, not John the Beatle. So, and then he did that, and it kind of, I just thought it was silly. I think it was so silly I didn't even go over and have a look because I thought, well, you know.
Stay in bed. Bed piece.
Hairpiece.
Hairpiece, bed piece. Oh, yeah.
We all know about peace. We all understand these and the reasons for it. They don't do anything new by just by sitting in bed and talking about it. Get a lot of publicity, saying peace is good. We all know peace is good. We don't need to be told that. I think they deluded themselves. I don't think they did anything for peace, to be honest. I really don't. I don't know whose idea the bed-in was, but it sort of established John and Yoko more than anything as this great love story, or that's how they saw it. They built this fable, this legend of themselves, of John and Yoko. You could never see John on his own when Yoko came along. She was always there, sitting there alongside him, which was kind of weird, you know. And now and again you would, by accident. And he was a slightly different person too when she wasn't there. I've got to be honest, he was. He'd sort of tell you things. He'd say, well, don't tell Yoko, this sort of thing, you know. Well, you wouldn't, obviously. At the time, John was losing his credibility with it, or he'd been considered the jester, the funny one, the clever one. And it was tipping over now to is he crackers? Is he mad? And the papers gave him a really hard time. I mean, some of them really hard time. I was kind of amused, but I thought it was silly, but I was amused by it. But the guy called Donald Zeck, who worked for the Daily Mirror, he really tore him apart.
If it works, it's right.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it's wrong.
Well, nobody's ever given it a chance before, have they? Nobody's ever given peace a complete chance. Gandhi tried it, Martin Luther King tried it, but they were shot. But nobody's given...
You can't get peace in a king-size divan on
No,
floor
you can't,
802.
We don't expect to, but I mean, we're talking mainly to the revolutionaries who think they can get it overnight by breaking down the buildings, you know. They can't get it.
Yeah, but I mean, how many people can afford to go to bed for 7 days?
Listen, we're giving up our holiday. Anybody can afford it. Mrs. Higgins in Wigan can give up. If she's serious about wanting to protest against peace, she can ring a local paper and say, hey, man, I'm staying in bed like John Lennon and Yoko Ono for 7 days of my holiday. I get 2 weeks off a year, which is what I give myself just about. And I've given it up for this.
Okay, so she stays in bed.
Yeah.
Now, what's happened? What's happened?
Then she's set an example to Mrs. Higgins staying next door.
All she set an example of is how to lie in the horizontal instead of standing up on your feet.
No, well, then you say all people are doing walking down the street is setting an example of how to walk.
I can see that that's not bad for John Lennon and Yoko Ono, but what I'm trying to find out is a serious question.
Yeah.
What is it going to do for the gravel crusher in Huddersfield?
There's certainly a cruel streak always in John. At the same time, it was a witty one. So if he saw a joke coming, and it was going to be unkind about you, for instance, he'd still say it. Knowing that you'd be hurt, he'd still say it. The background he came from, he was a troubled child, you know. He'd been cast off by his mother. His father disappeared. All these kind of things, they have an effect. So he was probably angry with himself, I always thought. He always wanted to be something that he wasn't. He was very restless. He wanted to be a different person, you know. So he was a rock star, but he wasn't never good enough. He wanted to be something else. He wanted to be an artist. So when Yoko comes along and she calls him an artist, he thinks, that's what I am. I'm an artist. Not just rock and roll, not just Chuck Berry. I can be Chuck Berry and something else.
So I've been a freak all my life, and I have to live with that, you know. I refuse not to be me, you know. I'm not going to change the way I look or the way I feel to conform to anything, you know, because I've always been a freak from when I was born, you know. I'm one of those people.
What he did do for the peace movement, he left it a couple of great songs, Give Peace a Chance and Imagine, and they were just great songs for that purpose, and he was good at that, you know. That's where John was really good. He could manipulate the media, he could use the media for other purposes, and that was good. And I'd like to think that was one of his greatest accomplishments, having come up with those songs to say what he felt. Whether it's right to call him a martyr, an apostle, I wouldn't say that, you know. He was a songwriter who now and again wrote some very clever songs.
Wat het waard geweest is, ja. Het woord vrede stond op de voorpagina's. Vrede en een anti-oorlogsactie en de zin tegen het geweld. En hij zegt, we hebben een steen in die vijver gegooid. En ik hoop dat de kringen van onze actie nog heel lang te zien zullen zijn.